Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this video is the very first video that I'm filming with my iPhone 12. I'd previously had an iPhone 7 and the camera quality is very, very different. So if you guys are seeing every little imperfection and line on my face, that is why. So this is the real me. The old phone was not quite as good, so you didn't quite see everything, but now you will. So hopefully it makes reviews and close-ups and swatches a little bit better to see. I haven't quite figured out the lighting, so bear with me while I get all that figured out. But today we're going to be comparing the old Covergirl Outlast foundation, which was one of my favorites. This was a 3-in-1 foundation, to the new Covergirl Outlast Extreme Wear 3-in-1 foundation. So if you guys would like to see how these stack up to each other and see if I like one over the other, then just keep watching. Okay, so the claims on the old Covergirl Outlast All Day Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation was that the old one was the lasting power of a primer, coverage of a concealer, and blendability of a foundation in one, shine free, and this one had SPF of 20. The new one with this bright cap says it is 24-hour full coverage, SPF of 18, so they lowered the SPF a bit. It is primer, concealer, and foundation in one for naturally flawless finish, 24 hours, sweat-proof, humidity-proof, covers imperfections and evens out skin tone, feels comfortable, lightweight, and breathable on the skin. The old one had an expiration date on the back because it's an SPF product. The new one does not. Okay, so I have 810 in the old and new foundation, and I have 805 in the old and new foundation. These were like my winter shades. I think I'm just gonna go with 810 because that's the one that I've used the most out of, so it was probably my shade before, so it will probably be my shade again. So we will try these. They're the same pump bottle style. They both have the locking mechanism, so you slide this to lock and slide to dispense. All right, so here is 810 in the old and new formula, and they look like they might be a slightly different color. The old one looks a little bit darker. The old one definitely looks a little bit darker, so let me go one shade lighter with the old formula. Okay, so here is 805 in the old formula, here's 810 in the old formula, and here's 810 in the new formula. The shades are clearly not the same, but we're gonna do our best. All right, so on this side, I'm gonna have the old formula, and this side I'm gonna have the new formula, and I'm just going to apply with a sponge. Here's the old one, which is one of my favorites. Okay, so here is the old formula on this side of the face. It covers really well. Would I say that you don't need concealer? I don't know. I'm going to try to dab a little bit of this under the eye because that's generally how I apply concealer and see what that does. So applied more directly, it definitely does have higher coverage. If you just apply it with a sponge, you get like a slightly sheared out coverage, but I still think it looks really nice. And granted, this bottle is pretty old. They don't even sell it anymore on the shelves. It expired over a year ago, but since it's in a pump, I still think that it's intact and it's fine. Like I said, they're not selling them currently. They don't have current products to show you, but I did reach out to CoverGirl and they said that this is like an improved version of the old one. So I am hopeful that the new one lives up to my expectations because I really, really like this foundation. All right, so then using the top part of the sponge, I'm gonna go in with the new version. So this one is the Extreme Wear. Already it looks like the coverage is gonna be a bit higher. All right, this one's pretty pale, so I'm gonna go up a shade 825 and see if that one's any better. What I don't like about this though is once you remove the lid, you don't know what the shade is because the bottle itself does not have the shade on it. Oh, this one does have an expiration. They do have expiration dates. They're just very, very fine right here. So I'm gonna go up a shade, and this one is 825 Buff Beige. Doesn't look a whole lot darker, to be honest. And then I'll do the same thing with my finger under the eyes. Okay, I would say that the newer version definitely fills in pores a bit more. Like, my pores are a little bit larger on this side than they are on this side. I feel like this side was filled in. There's like white bits on this side though that I'm not exactly sure what that's from. Can you guys see that? It's like a white bit here, here. You guys see that? It's like it wasn't fully mixed or something. The old one doesn't have any white particles in it. The new one has a few, but that could just be a fluke, like brand new packaging. The coverage, I would say, is pretty similar. You can still see birthmarks on both sides. You can still see acne scars slightly on both sides. So let's see if we can build this up a little bit. It's going into the old version on this side. And then the new version on this side. Okay, I don't see any more white bits on my skin, so I think that was just like an initial application thing. Oh no, I lied, there's one right here. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but it's leaving like streaks of white on my face. So strange. It's like it truly wasn't blended and left white particles. There's one right here. You guys see that? 4K HD, can you see that? The white streak right here. So certain parts of the new formula still have like white bits in them, and they're not fully spread into the product. They're not fully blended. So I'm actually getting little like white streaks on my face, which is very strange because there was another CoverGirl product that did that. There were like little white balls in it. I want to say it was the Activewear one, or it was the Outlast Active. One of those in the squeezy tube had little white bits too. I'm not sure what that is. But I still like the finish of the new formula better than the old formula. But like I said, mine is expired and quite old, but they don't make it anymore. But color-wise, I would say that these are pretty much a good match. I ended up using 810 in the old one, and then I ended up mixing 810 and 825 of the new formula. So this is what I ended up doing on my face, these combinations, and I do feel like they look similar. Like, you can't see a drastic difference between one shade and the other. So do I think that this would be considered a concealer? I'd say no. I would say it's a nice medium to full coverage foundation, but you can still see the blues under my eyes. You can still see my sunspot. You can still see some scarring on my chin. So neither one completely canceled it out like a high pigment concealer. But would I need to prime? Not necessarily, because it filled in my pores over here. And if it is as long lasting as the old version was, then it should last all day without priming. So it is about 10:30 in the morning. This is what it looks like right now. New camera, which means you guys can see everything. New version. Old version. So I'm gonna hop off, do my normal powdering, finish the face, and then I'll try to do check-ins throughout the day. So see you in a bit. Just a note real quick, the foundation has set down completely. I have no need to powder the perimeter of my face. The only part I would powder is my under eyes for my concealer. So I'm not going to be powdering the foundation. Okay guys, it's been about a half an hour since I applied the foundation. I went ahead and bronzed, did a little cream blush and some lip products, and this is what it's looking like. It still looks nice and smooth. It is looking a little heavy on the forehead lines, but all in all, really can't complain. So far so good. Stay tuned. After 7 hours, it still looks amazing. The old and the new one, they both did not get greasy. You see a little shine here, but that is really, really good. No primer, and this foundation did not move, so I highly recommend the new one. It will probably become a new favorite. Hey guys, so I wanted to pop on here and do the outro. I forgot to film my final thoughts of the old versus the new CoverGirl foundation, and I wanted to let you know that I was still really impressed with the new formula. I didn't have to powder and it lasted all day. It didn't get very greasy, it wasn't breaking up. It really honestly does last all day long without powdering, and I have normal to combination skin. So I was really impressed with the new formula. I feel like it was maybe a slightly even better than the old formula. The SPF is not as high, but I would still apply SPF before applying my foundation regardless, just because that's not a very high number to protect your skin. So I have to say that I do like the new version as much as I like the old one. So I'm glad that they still have some version of this Outlast foundation still on the shelves. Thanks so much for watching this comparison video. I hope you found it helpful. If you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and as always, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.